And how's it going there? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Canon. And today, guys, I'm going to do my car tour or show off my car for my 500 subscribers, which again, guys, thank you ever so much for that. So my car is a 2011 Holden SV6 Series 2. It has a 3.6 litre V6 rear-wheel drive, averaging, I think it's got about 300 horsepower, maybe a little less because she's a bit older now. Yeah, so this is my interior. So I have full leather seats with red inserts. They are the comfiest seats I've ever sat in a car. Now, I haven't sat in a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, so I can't say that they're the comfiest seats ever, but I can compare it to an ML350 Mercedes-Benz, and these are way more comfy. In fact, my mom's Jeep's more comfy than a Mercedes. But anyway, so here is the steering wheel. She says she can do 260, which I don't think I'd take this car to 260, but I have done 210 in this car. And to be honest, she sat really nicely, but I don't think I'd go much faster on Australian roads because it wasn't very safe. But anyway, also have a touchscreen, which I think Holden thought that the touchscreen might break one day, but nope, touchscreen's still all good. Best make that's on mute. But yeah, touchscreen's all good. It's got Bluetooth audio, it's got iPod, it's got auxiliary. So there's a lot of stuff in here, including music and all that, but there are 2 or 3 USB slots in there for charging your phone, charging anything, as well as acting as an auxiliary. As you guys can see, I have back seats back there with a ton of room, and I've got my sun visor because it's Australia and shit's hot. I have jump leads in case I see anyone that needs a jump, which I've actually done a couple times, and a hard hat in case I ever need to go on a construction site. And in here we have some parts from my car when she got serviced, and had her timing chain and spark plugs done, which I haven't taken out of my car yet because I keep forgetting about it. Alright guys, so did a little bit of a cinematic shot back there, but I just want to kind of give you an overview of everything about this car. So she is 2011. I've had her for just over 2 full years now, which I actually didn't even realize till the other day when it popped up on my Facebook feed. It's like 2-year anniversary. I'm like, wow, no kidding. So in the 2 years that I've had this car, I've done about 45,000 kilometers. Which, to be honest, I didn't realize how much driving I did until I got this car. You know, because when you just drive and you just kind of don't really care. And, you know, I got this car, I'm like, I wonder how much driving I should do. So I started keeping track of it, and I can't find the exit to this shopping mall. Oh, fuck, I have no idea where I'm going. Where's the exit? Anyway, so yeah, I've had this car for just over 2 years, done about 45,000 kilometers on it. With regards to servicing, she's not as expensive as I thought she'd be. Because I know the people who had this car before me, and I knew they took quite good care of this car. Hence the reason why I decided to get this car from them. Because I was actually looking at a G35 Skyline before I bought this. And I just found out about this. I'm like, you know what? This car's a great deal. It's got every accessory I could ever want in a car. And the fact I know the owner, so I know she's been well looked after. Unfortunately though, in the cinematics, one, the car is very dirty. It's a daily driver. She's not parked in a garage, so she will be very dirty. But also, her paint is starting to fade, which apparently is very, very common in Australia with red cars. Apparently, the sun just destroys red paint very quickly, which is quite interesting. Oh, this fucking idiot is not looking. Hi, yeah, do us. Fucking stare at me. But yeah, so this car, unfortunately, I think it's been outside all her life. It's never really been in a garage to look after the paint very well. Apparently, I've spoken to a few detailers and that, and they say with the appropriate polish and things of like that nature, they can get the paint back to not dull and horrible like it is now, but they can get it back to quite good nick. So I might be doing that in the future. But the major thing that happened to this car, so she's at about 120,000 Ks now, or getting there. It's about 115, 116, somewhere around there. But at 100,000, she needed what's called timing chains done. So this car has 3 timing chains, and it was not a cheap repair. A mechanic shop wanted to charge me over $3,000 to get it done. I managed to find a mobile mechanic who offered to do it for $1,800, but when he got into the engine, he's like, "You need to get your spark plugs done." And this guy's a very honest guy. I even went there, and like I showed you in the back, I've still got all the parts. So if anyone wanted to inquire or go in depth and see why I need my spark plugs done, all the spark plugs are in the back of my car, so I can see if I wanted. But the spark plugs didn't look in the best of nick. I'm no expert, but I've had to change spark plugs on cars before, so, and on a quad bike I had to change the spark plug. But anyway, it didn't look very good, and I was like, you know what, if you're in the bowels of my engine, you pretty much stripped it, and you may, well, not stripped it, but like you've taken the whole front of the engine off, you may as well just do the spark plugs. And he also pointed out that the air filter was disgusting, which again you would have seen in the back there, and it was. The air filter needed to be changed. It looked utterly horrid. It was black. But other than those sort of things, this car's aircon only hits my feet, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard of an aircon itself working perfectly, but the mechanics that change it from the feet to the face not working. So I do know where it is malfunctioning. It's in just under my steering wheel. There's a little mechanism that literally does this, and that's broken. It's a $60 item, but I went to an auto electrician because a mechanic won't touch it. It has to be an auto electrician, and he wants to charge me $850 something to repair it just because of it being in the dash. So I'm trying to find another auto electrician that'll do it a bit less, so I can get some aircon on my face, because Australia is hot. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, the fastest I've ever gone in this car is 210k an hour, which I think, I don't know how much miles an hour it is for those of you around the world that are still on miles an hour for whatever reason. But if you divide 210 by 1.6, it should give you the appropriate speed in miles an hour. But yeah, I've had this car for 2 years now, and she ain't going anywhere. I never thought I'd love a Holden, considering it's GM, and GM sometimes don't make the best quality cars. But you know what? This car is amazing. Like I said, I've been in a quite a nice Mercedes, and the Mercedes doesn't touch this car. I mean, yes, the Mercedes has special hydraulic air suspension that lowers when you turn the thing off. It has pretty much every gizmo to keep you in lane and almost drive itself. Yes, it has every sensor around it, and a top-down camera, which this car has a reverse camera, by the way. But I'd still own this car over the Mercedes that I've been in. But yeah, that is my daily driver, or my only car really, to be honest. But I love this car. I'm gonna be beating her up for the next 5 or 6 years until her engine shits out on me, and then I might just buy a V8. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video of me just showing you around my car and giving you a quick talk about what it's like to own her. Thank you ever so much for 500 subs again, guys. See ya.